How you doing, guys? This is Mike from Lumin Lights, and we'd like to introduce to you today our Slick Par 6. This is a 6-color LED par can featuring red, green, blue, amber, UV, and white LEDs. There are 9 lenses or bulbs total, each one containing the 6 different color chips. It's 12 watts total per bulb, which would be 2 watts per chip. We have a remote control version available, and you can see here I have this all set up already. Here's our red, our green, blue, our amber, our UV, and our white. With the remote control, you can also do things such as auto jump, which is jumping from color to color. You can change the speed. You can also go to fade mode and set the speed for that. This is set to a rather slow fade right now. And we're going to go over to the bench right now and do a little tutorial and show you how to operate all the menu buttons on the light. Alright guys, so here is the Slick Par 6. Again, there are 9 bulbs. That's not the correct technical expression, but we're going to call them bulbs anyway. Each bulb contains 6 LED chips. Each chip is a different color. Again, there's red, green, blue, amber, UV, and white. They're 2 watts per chip times 6 chips. So we've got 12 watts total wattage coming out of each of these 9 high quality optic lenses. Here in the corner is the IR remote sensor if you choose to go with IR remote. Me personally, I don't use them. I always use DMX, but everybody's needs are different. Let's turn the light around and look at the back. It's pretty standard like most of our par cans. You'll see we have our 4-button LCD display for controlling the light and various functions. The buttons are labeled menu up, menu down, up, and enter. We have our DMX out and DMX in jacks, 3-pin. We have our power out and power in jacks. Power in is IEC, power out is a standard 3-prong plug, so you can daisy chain other lights. Quick note on power chaining or daisy chaining power, never go more than 4 lights on a unit like this because all the power is being pulled through the fuse, which is right here under this little fuse holder. And if you go past the rated amperage of the fuses, which usually more than 4 or 5 lights will do that, you'll blow the fuse in the first unit, which kills power to this unit and everything after it in the line. If you ever do need to change the fuse, just grab a small straight edge screwdriver. Right underneath this tab, you'll see there's a tab here. You can pop this out, pop out the fuse, put a new fuse in of the same amperage, and snap it back in place. Alright, let's go through the menu functions right now and show you how to operate the light. Okay. When the light first comes on, it'll be in whatever menu mode you had it previously set in. This was previously set in master mode and on the manual color or user definable color. But we'll get to that in a minute. Right now let's hit the menu button, and our first item is ADDR, which stands for the DMX starting address that this particular fixture will be assigned to. Hit enter and you have A001, that's address number 1. You have 512 channels, so this address can go from 1 all the way up to 512. I just hit the back button, but you'll go 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. Say I want to keep it on 1. To save the setting, hit enter 2 times quickly. Enter, enter. Now the setting is saved, but usually if you're setting a color or something, you got to wait 15 seconds for it to save it. If you only hit enter once, it'll preview it, show you what it looks like. But after 15 seconds, it'll go back to whatever previous state it was in. It won't save the setting. If you don't want to wait 15 seconds, pull the plug out, plug it back in, the power cycle, and you will see that if we go back to address, we hit enter, we're on address 1. Now if you want to back out of a submenu and go to the root, the top of the menu structure, hit the menu button, you're back at the top. Hit menu again or the up arrow button again. You advance to the next menu item, which is CHND, and that stands for the channel mode in DMX. There are different channel modes depending on how you want to control the light. This particular unit has a 3-channel mode, a 6-channel mode, and a 13-channel mode. Same thing again, if you wanted to choose 13-channel mode, enter, and then pull the plug, put it back in, or wait 15 seconds. Let's back out of this menu by hitting menu. We're back to the CHND. Now I can hit menu again to advance to the next item, or I can hit the up arrow button or up button. Next we come to SLND. This stands for master or slave. Hit enter. We are currently set in master mode, which means this light will be putting out a DMX signal through the DMX out port. It will control any other par cans that are connected to it and that are set into slave mode. If you want this to be the slave, hit the up or down arrow button to get the display to change to slave. Hit enter. Now the light is in slave mode. Now if I unplug this and I plug this in again, you'll see that the light after a second flashes and it just says par, or depending on your software version it may say SLAV. This means the light is in slave mode, and the way you can tell is the light is on but there's no light output coming out of the LEDs. That's because in slave mode the light will not turn on until it gets instructions through its DMX input from either another unit set as the master or a lighting control board. But I want to keep this in master mode. Oh, just a quick note. If you ever have a problem where you turn on the light, your menu is lighting up, you hear the fan going, so you know the light is on, it's getting power, but you have no LEDs on the front, there are two things that could be happening. Either one, you can have the light set into slave mode and it's not getting a DMX signal, and that's one reason it'll be dark, so make sure you're in master mode. And the other possibility is that you have your LEDs turned off from the menu, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But let's get back to where we were. We did address already, we did channel mode, we did master slave mode. SHND is a very important menu if you're using the light in standalone mode. SHND has all the built-in colors, color fades, color jumps, and a user-definable custom color that you could set. So hit enter, and the first item usually you see is sound. This stands for sound active mode. The light will pick up the sound or beat of the music from the built-in microphone, and the lights will change to the beat of the music. If I hit enter, you'll see S1. That stands for the sound sensitivity. S2, S3 is just more sensitive. Truthfully, the microphones, they're not super precise, so you're not going to notice really a big difference in the sound sensitivity. I wouldn't even bother with it. But sound active mode, again, as the light is sensing sound, it is changing color. Hit menu to back out of that. Let's use our up button to go to the next menu item, which is auto. Hit enter. Now auto, the light will jump from color to color to color with no fade in between. It's just a quick snap to color. Now when you hit enter on auto, you see SP and a number. SP means the speed. The higher the number, and if you can see this in the reflection in the back, the faster the light changes. If you go back to 1, it changes very slow. We'll leave that at 3. Enter to save it. Menu item button to back out of this. We're back to auto. I'm going to hit the up button again. Next item is fade. Hit enter, and again you'll see the speed of the fade. I have it set to 3. The speed of the fade, or I should say fade, is where it will gradually fade down in intensity and then fade up to the next color. So it's a nice smooth transition. Next item after fade, if we hit the up button, is color. Now this is where your pre-built or pre-programmed colors are stored. Hit enter. Now these are factory set, so you can't change these, but you do get this one bank or this one program slot where you can create your own custom color, and that's called NANU. Let's get back to that in a second. But first we'll start with color 1, which is red. Now these you cannot change. These, the ones that say color and a number, they're pre-programmed. Color 1 is red, color 2 is green, 3 is blue, 4 is amber, 5 is UV, 6 is white, and then 7 is where we start mixing different colors. But 1 through 6 are your basic colors, each color of each chip that is built into this light. And the colors go all the way up to, we have 32 colors, and then after 32, and 32 by the way is all colors on at full intensity, So all mixed together you get white. Go up one from 32. Here's that manual or that NANU menu item where you can create your own color. Hit enter. You'll see the display changes to R255. That stands for the red LEDs, and on the color intensity from 0 to the brightest setting 255, these are at 255, the brightest setting. If I were to go up one more, you can't from 255, it goes back to 0. Oops, excuse me. Hit enter to access this, and then if I go up one, the red LEDs just turned off because I went back to 0. Now if I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up, as I'm going up, the red LEDs are turning on. They're getting brighter and brighter all the way up until I get to 255 when they'll be at their full intensity. To save it, enter, enter, and now it's saved. Hit the menu item to back out of this. Now it's not flashing, so it's just showing you this is the red LEDs and what they're set at. Hit the up arrow button. There's the green LEDs, the blue LEDs, the amber LEDs, the UV LEDs, and the white LEDs. And back to red. Now, this custom color is good if you have a bride that gives you a piece of material to match your dress, or a decor company that has flowers or tablecloths, napkins that you have to match, and they give you a swatch, a sample of color. You can dial down each individual color or turn certain colors off, turn other colors on to match the color shade, and then save that in the light. And if you hit enter, enter while you're on this color, excuse me, back out of that again. Enter, enter, you save all the colors, and you hit enter, enter to save NANU. Now when you unplug the light and you plug it back in again, it'll show par for a minute, and then it will snap on. It won't snap on because I have it in slave mode. Okay, there we were in slave mode, so let's go to master mode, enter, enter. Let's unplug that, plug it back in again. Now it'll show par for an instant and then come on to the color that we saved, that we previously had it on, which was our manual color. Now if you set it to any of the other colors, like color 1, and you would hit enter 2 times and then unplug the light. When you plug it in next time, the light turns on, it'll come on to color 1. So for those of you doing shows on the weekend and you know what color the bride or groom or mitzvah kid wants, corporate event, whatever it may be, set your colors on all your lights, unplug them, pack them up, get to the job, plug them in, and they all instantly will come on to the color that you want. Let's back out of this now, back out of SHND, go to the next menu item, NADL. Now this is where I was talking about if you turn on your light, you're in master mode, and you have no LEDs. The reason could be this, hit enter. Now you see it says D255. D stands for dimmer, and this is a master dimmer for all the colors. So we're at 255, which is the brightest. If I go up one more from here, we're at 0. The lights just turned off. I have had customers call me up complaining that the lights don't work, that they're broken, and their LCD is on, but they've got no LEDs. And right away I say, is it in master or slave mode? They say, no, it's in master mode. Okay, great, go to NADL, what's it on? Oh, it's turned off, it's on 0. Turn it back on, and there you go. So again, that menu item is NADL, and that actually stands for manual dimmer. We just don't have enough digits in the LCD to make this an M. It's really MA, manual DL dimmer. Moving on to the next menu item, after dimmer is test. Here's where you can test your LEDs. Again, if you had no light coming out, this was on, maybe you think the LEDs burned out. If you hit test and hit enter, and you see the lights going red, green, blue, amber, UV, and white, your LEDs are all working fine. It's probably you have the dimmer turned down or the individual colors turned off, or the light is in slave mode. Hit menu again to get out of test. Hit menu one more time to advance to the next menu item, which says V11. That just means this is software version 11, and nothing really for you to do. You can't do anything. It's just for information purposes only. And hit enter after menu after that. We're back to address. So we've covered all our address items. That is how to operate the Slick Par 6. And if you do buy the remote control version as I showed in the demo portion of the video, you will have a little LED sensor. This is IR remote. IR is infrared. Basically, there's a little infrared beam here that'll beam out light. It has to be direct line of sight with the sensor. If you don't aim it at the sensor and you're aiming backwards away from it, it won't pick up. So IR, you do need to aim at the sensor of each light. You can be about 20 feet away or so, but as long as you have line of sight. That's the tutorial. Hope you guys enjoyed it. For more information or pricing info, please visit our website or give us a call at luminlights.com.